Caesarea National Park. Say cheese. All right, one picture, another pose. Yes, excellent. I will send you the pictures. I was supposed to go out from there, but you know what? At least there are no tourists and you will be able to enjoy it. Praetorium Palace. But before it, let's listen to the waves. This is the Mediterranean Sea. And to the left you can see the chimneys of one of the power stations, electric power stations. And before you will ask me, no, it's not the nuclear one, mainly because that is a fault area, and that's what King Herod didn't know, because his port, his harbor actually sank into the sea. And if we're talking about that, if you like to dive, even to snorkel, through here you can take special tools that will take you to the underground, or undersea actually, level of Caesarea. Let's go to Praetorium, the palace. You can see actually two parts of it. That's the first one, and that's the second one. It looks actually almost the same, but this is bigger. You can see that there's a kind of atrium. It's open space, and soon you will see why that one is so amazing that I believe that King Herod built it. But I must tell you that some people believe that King Herod wasn't here or didn't live here. One of the reasons that I actually say it is that King Herod was afraid to be next to people. He didn't like people. If you go to Masada, you will see where he actually stayed. Then in that case, that is so close to the center of Caesarea. The theater, you can see a little bit of it here, there, and the hippodrome, the horse race, and then the amphitheater was here as well. Then it's too close for him. I believe that King Herod stayed here because he knew that from here he can control Israel in a better way. The Romans needed too, then they actually moved their capital to here until the 5th century. That city was more important than Jerusalem for the Christians as well. Then let's go to visit the palace. If King Herod didn't live here, then Pontius Pilate lived here for sure. It's unbelievable, I'm the only one here. Alright, two fishermen and one that actually works here. We will go to see later on what he's doing. And if he will be nice to us, he might tell me exactly what he's doing. Okay, that is not original. How do I know? Let me show you. Can you see the 1997? But that part is original. And you can see two levels of it. Mosaic, and above it, marble. Then that might be from time of King Herod, and that was from different times. Remember the open space here, and the rooms were there all over, and it's such an important place for so many Jews and Christians. Let's start with the Christians here. Let's look at the inscription, and let me tell you, the original is not here. The original is at the Israeli Museum, and I'm sure that at least 60,000 of you actually watched my video about the Israeli Museum, and if not, ask me via YouTube and I will send you the link. Can you understand at least one word here? Pilatus? Pontius Pilate? Ah, it is. Tiberius. Pontius Pilate. He built it for Tiberius. We don't know where is the temple, but maybe remember the other side of the theater. Maybe that was the temple that was built to Tiberius by Pontius Pilate. It used to be part of the seats. They used it as like a secondary use, and someone was dancing on it, and when they deal with it, they realize that the word Pontius Pilate is here. This is one of the two only evidence, archaeological evidence, of the existence of Pontius Pilate. Amazing! Then that's the first palace. Some believe that it was built not at the time of King Herod. Maybe it was built a little bit later on. You can see the peristyle courtyard. And remember, columns and then rooms. We will talk about those rooms later on, but let's go to see the lower part of the palace. Are you still with me? Because it's going to be a long video. Maybe later on I will cut it into pieces. I mean, you will have a video of the theater, a video of the palace here, and so on and so on. And we are reaching the lower part. Built by King Herod for sure. And guess what? Can you see it? Because the sun is in our eyes now. This is the private part. That part was for his friend, for the government, for the clocks. But King Herod was here for himself. And what he did, it was kind of an island, artificial island, and he built here a pool. Now you can say, all right, instead of enjoying the water of the Mediterranean Sea, he enjoyed a private pool. But no, this is not King Herod. King Herod built here a pool with fresh water, part of the aqueduct that came from the other side. Rich is pool. Genius. What can I tell you? Genius. And if you want to see how beautiful it was, then look at the mosaic floor. Here, and a little bit to there. It means that people used to sit around it. That's why the mosaic around is not the most beautiful one. And let's think about cushions, mattresses. And that was the biggest table in that palace. 2 stories building, I forgot to mention it. Amazing, isn't it? But it's not the end. Because we know that Rabbi Akiva was judge here. We know that Paul was judge here and sat here in such a prison. I don't know what the prison was, but that's where he was judge. Do-do-doom, do-do-doom. You can see that that part is totally not a private one. I mean, it's not like small rooms. Part of the Praetorium, part of the courtyard. Maybe prisoners were here. Maybe Paul was here in one of those rooms for a few years, 2 years. But the most important sentence of his is, I appeal unto Caesar, from the book of Acts. Let's find a shady place. I'm kidding, there's no shade at all. St. Paul was here, mainly because when he reached Jerusalem, after he converted himself to Christianity, he had a vision. He met Jesus himself. He actually wasn't safe in in Jerusalem. The Jews, first, actually sent him to tell the first Christian, the first Jews who kind of accepted Jesus, not to do that. And on the way to Damascus, he had a vision, he met Jesus, and he became a Christian. When he came to Jerusalem to pray at the temple, the Jews didn't like it. And although the sentences against the Jews were so horrible, they wanted to kill him. I believe that he wasn't a guest of honor in Jerusalem from that moment. Then, before they killed him, he was sent here by the Romans to be judged by the Romans themselves, because only them can do that. The Jews couldn't do that. It took Jews from Jerusalem 5 days to reach that area, and they started to talk about it, and they didn't reach an agreement, but because some Poles say, I'm sorry, I'm appeal to the Caesar, I'm a Roman citizen, I'm not a regular citizen, I'm not a regular Jew, then only he can judge me. He stayed here for 2 years, and he met 2 of the rulers here, and he met Agrippa I, the nephew of King Herod, and they were talking, maybe here. I believe that it was here, and it's not the only story of that connected to Christianity. Now let's go to see here the view. מה עושים שמה שאני אגיד להם? תאורה? חשבתי שגילו איזה משהו. All right, תודה. That's only to electricity. I thought that you will be the first one who will see that they found something special. A letter from Paul. Maybe the letters for Paul, some of them were written here. I mean, he used Caesarea when he actually visited Turkey, Cappadocia, and Teresos. And he actually, when he stayed here, he stayed at the house of Philippus, the evangelist, and his 4 daughters. Some are here, I don't know where. Some are there. Oh, there. When you do have time, I'm sending the group through there to mingle with the sound of the water and to dip their legs here. But when you are reaching here, please don't swim there. There's no, it's not a safe place. And if we're talking about a safe place,